All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Lot of craziness going on. Market absolutely imploding. Tesla losing 50% of its value since December. The wheels are coming off, and they're coming off fast. So, lots to talk about. In just a second, Trump voters have fucked around and found out the hard way. I got some videos on that front for you. We'll talk about that. Then we have MAGA media coping extremely hard over Trump's economy. In fact, they're blaming Biden for things that Trump is directly responsible for. So we'll talk about that. We also have a really interesting story, man, about how Elon's Tesla may have been caught in a massive fraud campaign. You're not going to want to miss that story. And then later on, Andrew Schultz, the comedian from the Rogan sphere, is just tickled pink by Trump's warmongering and imperialism. He thinks it's really cute. I'll show you that video. And we have a MAGA closet case is proposing a full porn ban and many other things as well. Stephen A. Smith berated Al Green for daring to protest Trump. Needless to say, I'll have a lot to say on that topic. So everybody do me a big favor. Please subscribe to the channel. That's below. It helps out massively and costs you nothing at all. And of course, much love to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. We could not do it without you. We are real independent media. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a corporation or a billionaire or a government. This show is grassroots, man. And I'm very proud of that fact that you guys make that possible. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it, y'all. Let's start here. Local news report for you guys. And a lot of Trump supporters are having, let's call it, mixed feelings at this point in his presidency because he's already destroyed so much in such a short time frame. So let's watch here and we'll break it down as we go.
Jennifer Piggott voted for Trump in the November election. Then in February, she was fired from her civil service job.
Absolutely, I feel a little bit betrayed.
She was among more than 125 people dismissed last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
There's always that back and forth conversation now. It's like, you knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives.
No kings, no tyrants, no kings, no tyrants.
The cuts have shaken up a community that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. He won West Virginia with 70% of the vote, one of his biggest victories. But the betrayal felt by Piggott, a church-going conservative and three-time Trump voter, comes as political analysts are examining early signs of a possible backlash in Republican strongholds like Parkersburg.
So look, let me just point this out. Trump has always been a hardcore conservative. Conservatives don't believe in government jobs. They think you are a parasite if you have a government job. They think you are a moocher. They think you are a leech on society if you have a government job. They don't view that as a real job. And so now Elon is doing Trump's dirty work and slashing government programs left and right, freezing funding, destroying the Department of Education, destroying the anti-scam police, firing veterans and disabled veterans on a regular basis. And so, look, part of me can't help but say, how is this not the, I didn't think the leopards would eat my face response? How is it not that? Right? Now, at the same time, I feel bad for everybody who's impacted negatively about this. But what should happen is the Democrats should reverse all this destruction, but make crystal clear, hey, it's us that saved your ass. In the same way, remember when we had the stimulus checks and Trump held up the stimulus checks and delayed them a little bit just so he could get his name on the checks? And then when Biden did his stimulus checks, which, by the way, were bigger, Biden did not insist on putting his name on the checks. Okay, well, that era has to be dead and gone. The facts will not sell themselves. This is what Democrats need to understand, right? So now you see a clear opportunity. Here are hardcore conservative Republicans like, damn, I don't like this. And so the lane is wide open, y'all. The lane is wide open.
Where the government-slashing efforts of Trump and Doge are beginning to hit home.
Elon Musk has basically taken over our government and has calling the shots, unfortunately, it seems to be.
A handful of Republican voters who lost their federal jobs joined Democrats at a recent anti-Doge protest near the Bureau of Fiscal Service offices in Parkersburg. But the federal job losses in the state could soon extend beyond the BFS building, says West Virginia University economics professor John Deskins.
West Virginia is at the very top of the states in terms of the federal workforce as a share of total workforce in the state. So if the federal layoffs happen, if they hit West Virginia, we stand to suffer a disproportionate share when those jobs disappear, when that income disappeared.
We already discussed West Virginia was begging for a disaster declaration for their flooding. Begging. And Trump didn't sign it. He was dragging his feet. So remember, one of the things Trump said on the campaign trail, he was hammering Biden over not giving enough help to North Carolina when there was flooding in western North Carolina because of that hurricane. Trump, the federal government's left you high and dry. They're not even helping you out. Look at this. It's a disaster. It's disgusting. You better help these people. Why are you helping Ukraine? Help people here at home. Then West Virginia has massive flooding, begging for a disaster declaration from Trump, fucking nothing. In fact, what Trump has done is he's gone out there and said, we should dismantle FEMA. We should abolish FEMA completely. And so this is a twofer for the good folks of West Virginia, right? Being abandoned when there was a flooding disaster by Trump and MAGA, and now massive Elon Musk-induced layoffs of all of these people.
But in Reuters interviews with 36 workers, business owners, and politicians in Parkersburg, nearly all said that Trump's focus on cutting government spending was a worthy goal. And Reuters Ipsos polling shows Americans' attitude toward Trump are so far essentially unchanged.
No, I don't know when this report was made, but it absolutely is changing. So there was one poll, it was either 24% or 26% support for what Elon Musk is doing. Elon himself had a 36% approval rating. This is all indicative of the cuts being deeply, deeply unpopular and having a negative effect. And then, yes, Trump's numbers now are coming down. He's already underwater. When at the beginning of your time in office, it's a honeymoon period. Biden was plus 17, to give just one example. Trump was maybe plus 2, plus 3. Now he's underwater. So it's already happening.
During federal workers in February. As of this week, his approval rating was holding steady at 44%.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, we were excited about that.
They're not cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. This is their lie. This is their dodge. We're all about cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse. And then you get into the specifics, and they call things they don't like waste, fraud, and abuse, right? When they cut off all the funding to USAID, well, guess what? A lot of that money went to HIV medication to children to save their lives. They consider that waste, fraud, and abuse. That's what they consider the entire Department of Education waste, fraud, and abuse. They considered the air traffic controllers who were keeping planes from crashing waste, fraud, and abuse. They consider the entire CFPB, the anti-scam police, they say that's waste, fraud, and abuse. Well, guess what? That agency protects you from fraud. So they are taking the pro-fraud position to destroy that agency. We need to get past these linguistic tricks that are used by the right. They're not actually, if they were in favor of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, Trump never would have fired the inspectors general. Those are the actual people who go after waste, fraud, and abuse, and Trump fired them. Again,
I can't help but go back to the fact that what is the decisions that you're making right now solving in the big picture? It just, so the concept of voting for that again, voting for Elon Musk essentially to wreck people's lives, I can't do it.
Yeah, because they viewed you as the waste, fraud, and abuse. Your job, they consider waste, fraud, and abuse. The thing that I will never wrap my mind around is, I don't know why these people can't get it through their heads. These people don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. Now me, a dirty lefty, I'm not going to agree with you. Fuck, I'm not going to be friends with you, right? We're not going to yuck it up. We're not going to have conversations. We're not going to giggle and text each other. But I want you to have healthcare. I want you to have a good paying job. That's what I want. I want to make sure you and your family members don't get sent overseas to die in stupid, unnecessary wars. I want to make sure big financial institutions can't scam you, can't commit fraud, can't shake you down. I want to make sure your boss is not legally allowed to be such a massive asshole to you that it impacts your quality of life. That's what I want. I'm never going to like you. I'm never going to get along with you. We're never going to go to dinner together, all that stuff. But I want you to have a good life. That's what I want. Trump doesn't give a fuck about you. Elon doesn't give a fuck about you. Not even close. You're considered the waste, fraud, abuse in his mind, and he will spin it. If he were to learn directly from you, you were fired, all this, oh, but I supported you, sir, he wouldn't give a fuck. He wouldn't lift a finger to try to help you.
The economic impact of the mass dismissals across America may not be immediately felt. So far, 100,000 government workers have been fired or taken a buyout.
I've read as high as 250,000. They're saying 100,000. I've read as high as 250,000. Either way, yeah, you're going to see a massive contraction in the economy. right? The private sector is going to tank. The public sector, by definition, is tanking with all these layoffs. Yeah, the market is crashing. Gee, I wonder why. Because of all these things, plus the instability brought about by I'm going to do the tariffs, I'm not going to do the tariffs, I'm going to warmonger with this country and that country. I truly don't think people understand just how much of a colossal, epic disaster this administration is going to be when all is said and done.
Berg is bracing for another round of layoffs, with all government agencies ordered to make plans to cut career staff by March 13th.
And at the same time, Elon Musk is sending himself more corporate welfare, more government money at the exact same time. He gets more subsidies, he gets more tax money, right? But you get fired. You lose your $55,000 a year job. Makes no sense. Well, it makes perfect sense to the leopards eating people's faces party, right? This is what they want. And so now I hope this is a wake-up moment for a lot of these people. I got one more for you. Here we have a Trump voter who had a little run-in with ICE.
The man we spoke with is a U.S. citizen. He provided us with documentation of his legal status. He says this experience has shaken his faith in the immigration enforcement efforts of President Donald Trump, for whom he voted, he says. This is what Yenzi Machado managed to record on his phone Wednesday. He says while he was driving to work with two other men, he was stopped by ICE agents on Lamont Drive in Manassas, a short distance from his home. He says he was confused by what was happening, why agents surrounded the pickup truck. He spoke with our sister station, Telemundo 44 reporter Rose Beliz Quinones, who was the first to report his story.
And they just got out of the car with the guns in the hands and say, turn off the car, give me the keys, open the window. And, everything was really fast.
Machado says the agents said the name of a man they were seeking for a deportation order, someone who had given Machado's home address. He said that was not his name, and he did not know anyone by that name. He offered to show them this, his Real ID compliant Virginia driver's license. It has a star in the upper right corner and requires proof of lawful status.
They didn't ask me for any ID. I was telling the officer if I can give him the ID, but he said that just keep my hands up, not moving. And then after that, he told me to get out of the car, and then he put the handcuffs on me. And then he went to me and said, how did I get into this country? And if I was waiting for court or if I have any case. And I told him I was an American citizen. And he looked at his other partner like, smiling, like saying, can you believe this guy? Because he asked the other guy, do you believe him?
Machado said he was uncuffed and immediately released after showing his driver's license. The two men with him were taken into custody. He does not know why. The incident has caused him to reflect.
Because, like I say, I was a Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that they will assume we are illegals.
So, do you think that's what they're doing now?
That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like.
Immigration lawyers suggest that residents and citizens carry ID with them at all times.
I mean, he didn't say that, right? Trump did not say, oh yeah, we're only going after the criminals. He didn't say that. He said we're not only are we not only going after the criminals, we're against all undocumented immigrants, but then beyond that, he was even going after legal immigrants. That was the whole, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. That's what that was about. That was about legal Haitian immigrants. He just said we're going to remove temporary protected status from the 240,000 Ukrainian refugees we have in this country. We already learned there are people being sent to Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay, who don't have any criminal record whatsoever. You've had ICE stop U.S. veterans, stop a whole family from Puerto Rico, including a child, who are U.S. citizens. So, no, it literally is, you have brown skin. You seem Hispanic. We're going to harass you. That's what it is. That's what it is. By the same token, what are they doing? If you are a pro-Palestine protester on a college campus, they say, oh, we're declaring that you're pro-Hamas, even though you're not, and there's no evidence of that, and now we're going to detain you and we're going to deport you. Guys, this is what authoritarianism is. This is what it is. They don't care about the details. They don't care about the specifics. They don't care about the nuances. They don't care about the law. They don't care about your story. It's we made our mind up. We're acting, right? And this is one, I'm sure, of many instances. There was another story the other week of a guy whose wife was deported. He had voted for Trump. Like, guys, you gotta wakey, man. It's here. Authoritarianism is here. Fascism is here. The robber baron coup is here. These people do not give a flying fuck about you. They care about money, power, and control. That's what they care about. And that's why you see how many scams are they going to run. Trump launched a crypto scam coin 2 days before his inauguration and shook down his own supporters to the tune of billions of dollars. Okay, that's to say nothing of the crypto reserve, which also is a massive heist. It's a robber baron heist. Let's rob the taxpayers to pay off people like David Balsacks and all of his other crypto broligarch friends who funded his campaign. That's why they're there. Okay, this is all about money, power, and control. That's what it's about. They don't care about you. They never will care about you. They never did care about you. And all of their policies are going to be geared towards class war, making your life a living hell and helping out the robber baron class. And now, it's late. It's a late date here, but a lot of people are waking up to it, including many Trump voters. Look, there's one segment of Trump supporters who are never going to move an inch. Those are the true Kool-Aid drinkers, the true cult members. There have been examples of people saying, I lost my job because of this administration, but it's okay. I don't blame them. I love Trump. They exist. I've seen it. Okay, they're TFG. TFG, dog. Too far gone. You're never going to get them back, ever, right? Well, what is that? 30% of the public? 25%? Thereabouts, right? Which means what? The overwhelming majority are on the other side of that, and people are beginning to wake up, and that's why you're seeing furious people at town halls shouting at the Republicans, right? And then again, the material reality is going to hit these people in the head like an anvil. With the stock market crashing, people losing their jobs, the economy contracting, the social safety net being slashed, when that material reality slaps people in the face, there's going to be a lot of fucking people waking up, bro. And there's going to be a very different country, and the pitchforks are going to be on the way out. I can guarantee you that. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.